Atchafalaya. Did I get it
Atchafalaya
right?
Journey is what we're going to be talking about, and we're with the author.
Brian Neptune.
There he is.
There he
Hey,
is,
Brian,
right
how you doing, sir?
Well, it's nice to be back on.
Yeah, you came on, I think the original reason we had you on is because you self-published.
Yeah.
And we wanted to give as much information that we could to our viewers out there about the process of how to publish. And as I say that, he pulls out all the information necessary.
Yes.
But I think in the beginning, this was a journey for you that you had no idea how to self-publish.
Right. Yeah.
And you, by process of elimination and hitting some roadblocks and...
Yeah. Found out that I could self-publish on Amazon and Kindle, and all my books are available on Amazon and Kindle online. And
how many books have you?
There's a color version of that, and then
Oh my.
Oh, he's got several here.
there's Dabney Quest. That supposedly took place before the dinosaurs. There's the Atchafalaya.
Supposedly, so it's a novel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 of the Magic of Science trilogy.
Okay.
And a vampire book.
So you obviously have found a passion in writing.
Some of the books there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now these are real books. I mean, these have been printed in glossy 3-color artwork. And is this an expense that you had to go through, or?
No, it was all free, but because I published them as books instead of just online, I have to send 2 copies to the Library of Congress.
Oh, okay.
So that if a library wants it, on loan, they can send it to them.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And
so when they print these books, how many do they print up? Like 12 or 13, or
on a one-on-one basis.
Oh, so
if you call up and want 1 book, they'll print up 1 book.
Oh, that's amazing.
Printing has come so far.
So you don't have to print 5 or 6,000.
And essentially, it gets into a PDF, print digital file. Printable digital file.
So when they bring that print digital file up, it is formatted for each page.
Yeah.
So when it's printed, it just prints them up in this format, and then they just only thing they physically probably do is bind it and cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
So all of your books are available on Amazon?
Right. And Kindle. Now, if you just publish on Kindle, you don't have to send the 2 copies to the Library of Congress. You send them a digital copy.
Oh.
And the digital copy with Kindle has to have the floating table of contents, so that if someone's reading it on their e-reader and they say, oh, I want bigger print, well, bigger print changes where the page number, where chapter
So it
2
has to be formatted in a certain way where they
right.
can...
And Microsoft Office, they have the capability to put that floating table of contents in there.
Okay, I see.
And then it comes also with Microsoft Publisher, which lets you do a cover for the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved in that.
I did that cover. This is one of theirs.
Let's just hold it up right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is another one that they did.
This is your artwork that you did on your own, is that correct?
No.
They did that, okay.
Yeah. This one I did.
Okay, this is
I drew that dragon.
Okay. All right.
And then this is one that you can just use their stock. And I had trouble getting the binder to come out, and I kept redoing it, and I thought maybe it was my print was too big, but it was that the font was the same color as the background.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, I changed the color of the font, and it went right in.
Let me ask you, do you keep, by doing it digitally like this, are you able to connect with your readers?
I have a blog with one company, but nobody wants to talk to me.
Okay.
And, but I have a blog with one company, but nobody wants to talk to me. And, but I have a blog with one company, but nobody wants to talk to me. Okay. And, but I have a blog with one company, but nobody wants to talk to me. Okay. And, but I have a blog with one company, but nobody wants to talk to me. I have an email. I've put it on Facebook. Told the people on Facebook, anybody emails me and wants to read the first chapter,
Right.
I'll email it to them.
Yeah.
And my email's Brian Neptune, all small letters, at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
And
Well, my thought was that you may not be a world-renowned author,
Right.
but you may have small following, maybe somebody in Denmark or somebody in
yeah,
Germany.
well,
may-
that is a possibility that
yeah.
it goes viral worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And I've sold copies of all of them to the Marion County Library, but I haven't bothered getting with Baxter Library or Boone County
Okay.
Library or any of them.
Okay.
And
So the newest one is this is an actual true story of
Yes.
parts of your life.
yeah.
Explain a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, we were told that the oil field was booming and we could go down there and get jobs like that. And when we got there, we didn't know the oil field had went bust the month before.
Okay.
And you had to buy a job on a boat.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and we ended up having to sell our car and live
Oh,
on
no.
live on an island in the Atchafalaya
Oh,
Swamp.
my gosh. And how long ago was this?
Oh, years ago.
Okay.
So you lived in the
I was
swamp.
probably about 22.
Oh, back in the 60s, 70s, or
70s.
yeah, early 80s?
So you lived in the swamp down there
Yeah.
for a while. Bayous, beaches, and boats.
Yeah,
That pretty much summarize what
right. The book's
the
about.
book's about.
Yeah. And
Lots of
it
pictures.
explains a lot about the different kinds of oil field boats. I didn't put a bunch of fish pictures in there because I wanted it to be, everybody's seen fish pictures, but not everybody has seen the inside of a 100-ton, field boat.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting when you go to a place like that and you get involved in a certain kind of lifestyle, that it's a world of its own,
Yeah,
and you were propelled into that world.
right.
So that's what you wrote about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Karen asked a good question right after we got off the air last time. What is copyrightable? How do you go about it? Well, anything you write is technically copyrighted at that point. And there are some things that can't be copyrighted. You can't copyright an idea, a thing, a name.
Those have to be trademarked or
Right.
registered in some way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So how do you go about the process of copywriting your work?
I registered the copyright on the Science of Magic trilogy. I haven't registered the other ones yet, but registration gives you a little more legal, recourse if somebody does infringe upon your book.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that take books and they put them through what they call a mixer. And it just mixes it up, and then they publish it like they wrote it.
Oh, they changed the sentences around. and-
Right. Chapter 1 may become chapter 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
the
that.
copyright protects you from the
Yeah.
mixers of the world?
Yeah.
But you have to kind of be diligent.
Oh, yeah.
You have to say, well, that kind of looks like my book, and then you have to look at the book and read it, and then
Yeah.
you got to go through a
Well,
process of.
And it's really tough to get your book, in the minds of the public, because one of the statistics that I read about said that if you tried to read every book that was written today, copyrighted today, you would spend the rest of your life reading books.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the internet and Amazon and Kindle has just made it that much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget how many 100,000 or whatever books there are
Sure.
printed and copied and
Yeah.
copyrighted worldwide. And it's hard to get the public to see you.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about maybe doing like a little workshop on what you've learned? Or maybe you need to write a book on self-publishing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But Amazon and Kindle, they have a free book that you can download, an ebook,
Okay.
and read it on your computer.
On how to.
And find out more than I know.
Okay. And just go to Amazon and
Amazon Create Space.
Okay, and then just type in a search word like self-publishing,
Right.
and it'll do a how-to on that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And if they're interested in your books in particular, they can go on Amazon or Kindle and search you by name.
Yeah.
It'll pull up.
Now, because I have so many books, sometimes they don't all show up. And at the bottom of the screen, it'll say, search for more books by this author. And you go down there and you click on that, and then the other books come up.
Oh, okay, all right.
There's a lot that goes into that, isn't it?
But these are in the local libraries now, if you want to check them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Check them out for a week or so.
They're in the
and-
Marion County Library.
The
at
Marion
least.
County
Yeah.
Library. Okay. Well, we sure appreciate you coming by. And are you working on something new?
Yeah, I am. But there's so much to this.
Uh-oh.
That I got distracted, and now I have to get back into the writing aspect.
So you've
of
written
it.
part of it, but then you got away from it, and then you just
Yeah.
need to.
Now, one thing is completely off subject that I wrote down here that I wanted to tell you
Okay,
about.
let's talk about it.
I had 2 phone calls this week. Each one of them telling me that the government was giving me a $9,000 grant,
Okay,
but I had to send $249 to cover the wire transfer.
yeah,
And I told them, I said, well, gee, on the news they said you never pay money to get money. If it's legit, they can they deduct it from what you're going to get, and you get it.
yeah,
And if they ask you for money up front, like these people were telling me to go to Walmart and wire them
them in.
$249 to cover their wire transfer of sending me $9,000.
uh-huh,
And I said, I ain't gonna do it.
uh-huh,
And told them I had seen it on the news that never pay for money to get money.
So you're just passing this information along that
Right,
might be a
that
scam
it's-
going on.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because of something I clicked on the computers, or if they're just taking names out of a hat. But they did it to me twice. Once with a woman, once with
Oh,
a man.
Wow.
And
You're just
Lots of scams out
just
there.
their next victim.
yes.
Well, Brian, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
been
It's great
great.
information. If you're interested in maybe publishing a book,
And they can call me at 870-656-6446. I'll give them information. I can sell them a book.
yeah?
You
Or you can tell them what not to do.
Yes.
Because you've probably done it,
Yeah.
done things the wrong way, and you figured
Yeah.
out how to do it the right way. All right.
And the easiest way is just call the copyright office and have them send you a copyright packet. And you can do copies of their forms and their circulars. In here, it actually specifies that, because they'll only send you 2 copies of a form.
Okay.
Beyond that, you're supposed to make your own copies.
Okay.
And that's to reduce their paperwork and their expense
Sure.
of sending out thousands of forms a year and people throwing them in the trash. Because they get looking at it and say, I don't want to do it.
Well, it's a fascinating profession, and sounds like you've gone through the process, and much luck with you. And if you have a new book, let us know about it, and we'll have you back on the show again.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for joining the show, and thank you for being back.
Thank you for being back, Dan.
Are we going to go have a after-show party or anything?
Let's do it.
Are you paying this time? I think I paid.
This time I always pay, Dan.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Well,
all right.
can't you just get out your communicator and call the Enterprise and beam yourself
That's
up
right,
for,
that's a great
for a
idea.
vacation?
We could. We could try that.
Try that.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again
Good
next time.
seeing everybody.